I started about 20 years ago actually at COB. I was at the time a physics major, and I took some classes with Stan Burnside, and something just clicked. I just felt the energy of, I guess, just becoming a painter. I started around that time, is early 90s. Well, Stan Burnside was probably my earliest influence. I started with him at the College of the Bahamas, and he just, was more of a philosopher, and I really got into the magic of what painting could do. You can really express yourself. You can really, make an effort at exploring, who knows, man, infinite dimensions through art. So I just started then, and he was definitely my first influence. And then since then, it's been a lot of Bahamian artists like Max Taylor, Brent Malone, and of course, when I went to school in the States, the Maryland Institute of Art, it was a lot of all the guys, Jackson Pollock, and de Kooning, Motherwell, all the giants. My latest collection is called Vanquish The Dragon, and it's a metaphor for my attempt at unraveling a lot of personal angst through painting. But when I say that, it doesn't mean that my paintings are necessarily dark. It's just that I try to channel any sort of energy, whether it's dark, whether it's negative or positive, into some sort of cohesive imagery that says something about me. Well, this latest body of work is a combination of oils and wood stains, and that was all somewhat of an accident. I discovered wood stains when I actually didn't have any more paint left on a Sunday when everything's closed, and I started using some wood stain in combination with the paints, and I discovered they have a real nice play together. You can really create a lot of dimension and a sense of space with the medium. Now the trick is that because of the toxicity of the paints over prolonged use, I've sort of developed ridiculous sinus allergies. So this is my last show of oils right now. So I'll be switching to water-based paints within the next few weeks. So it's kind of a milestone in my body of work, and so I'm pretty excited about, having it displayed. I think oils definitely have their own life, and I'm more familiar with oils, but I'm certainly not. I'm certainly excited about experimenting with water-based medium. It's going to be a different language, but I'm excited about that. But it is, I would definitely would have continued in oils because I like the looseness of it, but I'm not afraid now. I've been painting for 20 years. I'm not really afraid to try to experiment with new stuff. I'm actually excited about it. Taking a little break right now, and then I'll be back in the studio. At the top of the world, man. I'd like to go. I'd like to see my work in galleries internationally. I think that Bahamas it's definitely growing in terms of the buzz around the art community, but I'd like to see more funding. I'd like to see Bahamian artists, international. I'd certainly like to be amongst that mix of showing, all over, locally and abroad. There are a few, but I have to say that John Cox is definitely one of the guys who really inspired me. He's actually a really good friend of mine from when we were small, and I think that he created Pop-Off Studios, and probably about 12 years ago we did a show. This was even before Pop-Off had a buzz. People didn't really even go there yet, and we really stuck to our guns in terms of being true to our own expression of what we feel Bahamian art is, because people always ask that question. They see modern abstractions and they say, well, what's going on here? Is this Bahamian art? How is this Bahamian? And we say, well, we are Bahamian artists, therefore it's Bahamian art. So John has definitely been a close friend and also someone who's inspired me. He's always been pushing the boundaries as well. So And I think pop-up studios is definitely one of the, it's an important institution in the Bahamas for modern Bahamian art. Yeah, what is Bahamian art? That's a real loaded question. I think that it's something that we're going to have to constantly be defining and redefining. I think that you know, we've been pigeonholed. I think the tourist economy has pigeonholed us to be a certain way, you know, a certain primitive way of looking at things. So I think that it's just a matter of educating and exposing people to different ideas. I mean, it's like trying to define like a Bahamian person, right? Does that mean that you only, you know, watch certain things on television? You only wear certain clothing? Do you only speak one language? You know what I mean? I think being a Bahamian, I think I've met Bahamians that can speak multiple languages, and I think it doesn't take away from their Bahamianness. I think art should be viewed the same way. You should be able to explore different mediums and, you know, just different forms of expression, and it still be, I think the idea of what is Bahamian art, it's something that's under constant expansion. It's not a finite thing, and I think it has to be something that is just broad, just as ourselves. Who are we? We have to constantly discover ourselves, and we do that. It's a constant journey. Young Bahamian artist, what do I'd say get a job. Get a job that pays, because art materials are expensive, and no, I think that, no, that's true. I would say if you're going to be an artist, take it seriously. Really, it's not a superficial fly-by-night kind of thing. Really see what's going on, what you're expressing, what you're trying to do, and you gotta find a source of income. So working maybe at another job to create that, or, you know, figuring out a way to balance that sort of lifestyle, because it is tough. I mean, I work in a gallery now, and I'm producing fine arts as much. I feel like I'm working full time, constantly, weekends and all that, and so it's just a matter of finding that balance, you know. Because I mean, unless you're independently wealthy and it doesn't matter. You're really gonna have a tough ride. So you better take it seriously. I definitely think that it's important to acknowledge people who support the arts. Anything, drama, painting, theater. It's important because we do have some supporters, and it's really essential to acknowledge that, and to really, you know, I really give thanks for the people who come through. And then you've not so much just everyone, you know, in terms of you know, documentation, or, you know, like Breugel, for example. It's important to acknowledge how grateful I am for that, and how important that is for the exposure of art and artists. Is that interactivity with other sort of venues, restaurants, theater, you know, it's very important. So I just like to say thanks for that. I think that it's important to, in terms of self-expression, I think it's important to, at least for myself, not to try to always have an answer. You know, sometimes in painting, I'm discovering new things as I go. You know, sometimes people ask me, well, what does that mean? What does that mean? And I'm not always sure. I know that it's, I just have to make an effort at it, and to stay true to my idea of what I think I should be doing. You know, sometimes someone tells me, say, well, you know, if you do this more, if you paint more scenery, you would, you know, have a bigger following. But then if you're not staying true to yourself, then you're living somebody else's life, and so you're never going to create a body of work that is truly yourself if you're always, you know, quoting somebody else. You can use other people's influences, but always try to tap into your own energy somehow, because, you know, we're all sharing the same sort of source. So I think that it's just important to, and I guess in a sense, believe in yourself.